Chapter 2 Toes Forward. In a full-length stride, it is imperative to have your toes pointed forward the whole time. It is easy to think you are doing this when your leg is in front of you, but what people miss is the technique when your leg is behind you. When your leg is behind you, it is easy to turn your foot outwards. I estimate about 80% of the people who point their toes outward, and there is 20% of the people who point their toes inward. If you walk with your toes pointed outward, you'll be using more of your outside leg muscles. Like in Chapter 1, it is key to achieve full range of motion in all your joints. If you are using one side of your leg, this is where shin splints, hip issues, and low back pain will develop. People who have their toes pointed inwards will have plantar fasciitis, toe arthritis, and tight front hips. So take a look at how you stand when you're not paying attention, like standing in line or just waiting for the light to change. Look down at your feet. Is your right foot pointed out, but your left is straight? Are you leaning to the left, leaning to the right? Because if your feet are pointed in a certain direction, as you're taking a stride, it is likely you're doing that motion through your whole stride. So if you have your right foot pointed outwards, it is likely when you're taking a stride, your right foot is pointed outwards and your left leg is straight. So the next part is to make sure your toes are pointed forward. Your foot is pointed forward and that your foot is square, so it's flat. You don't want to be coming at an angle. You want it flat and getting ready to hit the ground flatly. Your hip muscles are in charge of changing direction when you are walking. Your toe direction is dictated by your hips. This is why when you walk, you have to think about your hips all the way to your feet. And this is how you can link together low back pain and sciatica by the way your feet are turned in or out. And that's going to start at your hips. So these issues are linked together. You got to think of your whole leg as you're doing this, not just your feet. Your feet are going to be a big part of it. And in Chapter 3, we're going to go into the 4 points. So this will be easier to understand when you hit the 4 points. But Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, this is the beginning, the setup to hit these 4 points. A good exercise to loosen up your hips is to use a yoga ball. Sitting on the yoga ball, flexing your hips into the ball, accessing where that pain is, and then move your foot around. Flex where that pain is. Flex in with your hips, access that pain, and move your leg around. It's very important. If your toes have not been pointed straight, it is likely you're going to be really tight back there. And it's very important, if you want to loosen up your own hips, you got to get some flexibility and some range of motion back in those hips, and it'll be easier for your toes to be pointed forward.